crafters and friends, I have got another couple of products that I want to show you today. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell so you'll get notified whenever I do another video. I've got a couple of products that I want to show you today. I made a couple of cards, and let me switch to my card cam. I've got this one right here. Let's see if I can cut on the light. There we go. And I've got this one. And I've got this one. So I've got our card panel ready to go. We just have to pick colors. And that's what I wanted to show you tonight in this video, was the products that I used to pick the colors. So these 3 cards, I picked these 3 cards. This one. And as you can see, that's pretty darn close. I liked that one, and this one I just absolutely loved. It really turned out very similar. And this one I wasn't too crazy about, but after I finished, I did like it. So let me get my color cubes, and they're by Sarah Renee Clark, and I will link her website in the description, and they're behind me, so hang on just a second. So let me switch my camera around. These are called color cubes. We got 1 and 2. And this one I had got out to possibly make a card out of. But the one that I had picked too, they're very similar. So I wanted to pick something different. And what they are is color ideas. To, like, if you ever get stuck on what colors go with what, they're really good to help you figure out what colors go well together. I just want to put these back in order. They're numbered at the corner so you don't get them all mixed up. So there's 9, and this is 10, I think. Hang on, I'm getting them together. Oh, there's 1, and there's 10. Sorry, I had them with my cards over here. Okay. And this one was 25. All right, we're back in business. All right, so I just go through and pull out a color scheme that I like. Now I've got this background already, so I'm going to try to pick one that has that already in there. So just flipping through. This one's pretty. I think we'll go with that one. But yeah, that's what they are. They're cards with some photography, and then with that photography, they chose the colors that are inside the photo. And so what you do is you just go through your stash and just pick the color scheme that you want, and you match it up with your cards. So yeah, that's the color cube, and it comes in this real pretty box, and it's comes with the labels. You have to label it yourself. So here's 1 and here's 2, and it goes from 1 to 500. That's a lot. That's a lot of ideas. Okay, so hang on one second. Let me put these back up, and I'll show you the other things that I have that we're going to use. So again, this is the color scheme that we're going to try to use. This one is going to match this, I think. It's a little bit darker, but I think that's okay. Okay, so this die is by Simon Says Stamp, and it's right here. And it's all one die, so you have to run it through a couple of times to get the colors that you want. So that's Simon Says Stamp, and this is Cosmos Duo. So we're going to use that one. And the other cards, this one, I used Simon Says Stamp Beautiful Buttercup. Okay, I'm going to put that out of the way. And let's see, on the these other cards, the sentiments that I used are by Tailored Expressions. And these are what would they call foilets. So you run these through the Mink or the Fuse machine with that special foil, and it makes it, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it makes it shiny. And I did this in gold. So I took one whole panel and run it through and just cut them up. And I've got those in a little tray, and I'll fish through that. So we got a Get Well card, we got a Thinking of You card, and we just got a Friendship card. And then I just use some sequins in my stash. Okay, so this thing right here is also by Tailored Expressions, and I use this set, which is simply called Arched. So there's different sizes of these masks, and you just use your shader brush and shade in that shape. They have Masking Oval is what that one's called, and this one's called Frayed Edge. So I used those. So I've already got my back idea, and we need to pick our color. So what I do is I get my scrap bin of scraps, and we just go to matching. And if you don't have the color that you want, but you have the ink you want, you can get a white piece of cardstock and make your own paper. So we need a dark blue, which will be this navy. Then we need a medium blue. And I don't know if y'all can see my scrap bin, but this is my scrap bin. So I just picked through my scrap bin. So that, I like that color, but those are card bases. I don't want to really use a card base, but I might have to. I like that one. So we'll just tear this in half. So there's the medium blue. And then we've got this kind of aqua color, which is on the lighter range. So we can get close. As long as they're in that same color scheme, which I want to do a more aqua color. Let's see if we can find one. Kind of limited to my aqua stash. Still looking. Bear with me a minute. That one's a little dark. So we may have to invent our own stash color, but we had this one, didn't we? That one's close. That one's real close. Okay, so we've got our we got 3 of them. We're going to work on this one right here. We're going to use some ink and make our own color. Put this back up. Let's get a scrap piece of white. Okay, there's our scrap piece of white. And I'm going to put my card over here where I can see my ideas. And let's try, this one's probably a little light. Let's try Gina K's Sea Glass. That one looks pretty good. So what you can do is go what we call direct to paper. So that's just ink to paper. And we're just going to turn this white cardstock into the color that we want. So we didn't have cardstock the color we needed, but we had the ink we needed. That's the reason why we're doing this. So we're taking the ink direct to paper and making our own color cardstock. So again, that's Gina K's Sea Glass. And I think this is one of her favorite colors. I like it too. So let's see. It is a little dark, but I think this will, when it dries back, it's going to be lighter. Okay, so we need to pick one of these as our green, which I think is going to be this one. And we're going to use our die to do our stems. Okay, let me turn it over to my cutting cam. And I use the Anna Griffin Empress machine. This is not the newer model. This is the older one. It still works just fine. I haven't justified buying the new one yet. I love my electronic cutter machine. We're just going to do all of our cutting right now. So we're going to try to run all of these. So we've got our stem. And these will be, maybe use those, I doubt it, but we can always use them on a different project. And that's our centers. We may use the centers of the daisies. All right, let's see. We need our medium color. We'll run that through. And I do have my crank style. I do have one of those because sometimes the embossing folders, I have trouble getting the embossing folders to work. Okay. Now one of those colors we're going to use for our background. Okay, so we're going to run our homemade stock, cardstock next. Looking good. So many pieces now. Hang on. There's our little center. All right, now we need to do our dark blue. A lot of die cutting. Just to choose colors. We're not going to use all of it. And I think we're going to use this light color as our card base, so we won't cut it. Okay. So there's our dark blue. Sometimes if you tap these, they'll come out. There we go. So these are all our pieces. Okay, I think we're through with our die. Now we need to decide what colors we are going to make our flowers. So we can put our die back up since we're done with it. And let's see, we've got this color here that I think we're going to use as our stem. And I kind of like this lighter flower for our main flower. And sorry, my nose is itching. And maybe this flower for our smaller bloom. And let's see. That looks good. We've got another little center, which is the opposite. So they're opposite. I like that. And then let's see about a sentiment strip. What you been up to? Sending big hugs. I like that one. Hope you feel better soon. Sending all my love. That one looks good. Let's do sending big hugs. I like that one. Okay, so now we are ready to glue together these. And I have the My Sweet Petunia glue press. I like this. I don't have the fine tip on it. I have the other tip. My fine tip got clogged, and I'm going to have to work on it because I couldn't get it with a pen. If it clogs, because I forgot to put the cap on, I just take a straight pen and unclog it. Okay, so let's do our stem. Okay, let's do our flower. Our flower center, and you could probably shade that and give it a little bit more dimension, but just to sake of time, we're just gonna put these together. Okay, then our smaller flower. I think I've changed my mind on that one. Kind of like the way this one looks. So we're going to do the same bloom color. Okay, now we need to find the other little center. And I've also got Gina K's Take Your Pick tool, or pick tool, and going to grab that little center, put it there. Sorry, my husband's screaming at my dog. Okay, now we've used this color, this color, this color, so we could do our card base in this navy and do our matte in this color, and we'll have that all put together. Okay, so let me see if I can find those right quick in my stash back here. Let me take this with me. Okay, I found the two that I like. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I used to do Stampin' Up, but I don't do Stampin' Up anymore. So these are their colors. And I think the light blue one is retired. And this is We Are Memory Keepers all-in-one board. I've got Stampin' Up's trimmer. I've got Gina K's trimmer. But this one right here, it cuts and scores all at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to score this at 5.5. And I've got several bone folders, but this one that comes with it fits in here really well. Oh, sorry. You've got to take this track out when you're scoring and flip it over. And find your 5.5. Score at 5.5. And then we're going to flip this back over. And rotate our paper. And we're going to cut this at 4.25. And that gave us a top folding card base. Okay, and then we have an extra to, okay, so we determined that this one's going to be 3 3/4, so I cut it, and this one needs to be 5. So I'm going to take 1/4 inch off of this side and 1/4 inch off this side. So this navy blue needs to be 5 1/4 by 4. 5 1/4 on that edge by 4, and they should stack. So that one will mount there, and this one will go there. Do with this trimmer. And the other thing that I like to use, this is another product that I like to use, and this is from Scrapebook.com, double-sided tape roller. Love it. It fits in your hand really nice. So we're going to put these together, and our card is almost done. And center this the best we can. Okay. And I just turn it over and give it a good back rub. Okay, and now we're going to center this one. Okay. Now you could write your message here, because it's really light. It's not that dark. But what I like to do is put a white liner in here. That way it makes it an even weight and makes the card a little bit more sturdier. Okay, so we've got our sentiment strip, and we're just going to put it right there. You can either glue it down, or you can find some glue dots, if I could find them. And I think these are by scrapbook.com too. They're foam squares that will elevate or pop up your sentiment strip or your die cut. I'm going to put those on here and remove the backers. Okay. Then we decide where we want to put it. Do we want to put it, split the flowers, or do we want to put it down here, which I kind of like it down here, and offset it just a little bit. And don't press it until you got it the way you want it. And then just press it down. And then if you have a personal stamp like I do, you stamp the back. And we're going to do some bling. We'll do some gold. Do 3 little sequins right there. And there we go. There's our card we made. And that's the card ideas that we got from the Color Cube by Sarah Renee Clark. And on the back, I don't know if I showed you the back, it actually gives you the number of the colors that it gives you the colors that they think these are, that they match up to. Suggestion. That's what I was trying to look for, is the word suggestion. So yeah, thanks for spending the evening with me. If you're watching the replay, would you please put #replay in the comments? If you have any questions, let me know. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell. It'll notify you when I come out with another video. And like and leave me a comment. See y'all next time.